This is Boomhervoice Network. This is the third interactive section that we'll be having. And tonight, I warmly welcome everyone. And Boomhervoice Network is a platform that is born out of deep passion to amplify women's voices, empower young leaders, and inspire transformation across nations. Tonight, we are not just having a conversation, we are igniting possibility, shaping perspectives, and unlocking pathways to impact. Kindly ensure your microphone are muted and feel free to engage with us via the chat box. There will be an opportunity to be able to take the questions as they come. I'm sure so many of us will know me. My name is Right Honorable Olubunmi Adelubu, and if you like, you can put Pastor. And it is always a privilege to convene conversation that drive growth, leadership, and meaningful impact. It's my pleasure. Our team tonight or today or this afternoon, wherever you are joining us from, is driving financial inclusion and leadership impacts, a woman journey across sectors. Our Boomhervoice Network, like I said, was born out of deep conviction that every woman carries a story, a strength, and a sound that the whole world needs to hear. In a rapidly evolving world, the ability to lead, adapt, and create opportunity, especially for women and young people, is no longer optional. It is essential. Tonight, the session is designed to equip you not just with knowledge, but with clarity and direction, especially even every one of us, whether you are a young person or you are old, we need clarity and we need direction. Before we proceed, I want us to, be very interactive tonight. I want also to know from where we are also clicking into this platform from. So don't forget to also like, share, and also invite somebody. I can assure you tonight, and that is why the devil is very angry, that the conversation tonight will be valuable to keep for a long time. So please don't see it alone. Our guest tonight is a woman of many parts. It is my honor to introduce our distinguished guest, Mrs. Olanike Kolawole. She's a seasoned professional with over 3 decades of experience spanning banking, pharmaceutical, and FMCG sectors. She's a respected leader in financial inclusion, a growth strategist, a trainer, and a coach who has made significant impact across East and West Africa. She has led transformative initiatives in digital banking and mobile money, expanding access and redefining financial system. Currently, she serves as Executive Director and Chief Operating Officer, continue to shape financial innovation and inclusion. Our philosophy is centered at creating lasting impact and building better future. Please join me today, in this afternoon, and welcome a woman of excellence and influence, Mrs. Olanike Kolawole. If you are excited, I want you to send emoji to the chat. Just clap or do something so that, let us welcome him with rousing ovation like Nigeria will always say. And please continue to let other people key into this conversation. Thank you so much, ma. You are welcome. You are truly welcome. And I'm really, truly honored to have you with us tonight. Let us begin by understanding your journey, ma. Please let us show us a brief of yourself. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you so much. Thank you. I really appreciate Mrs. Adeluba, and it's a great honor to be among great women here. I mean, I am not taking this for granted. I really, really, really appreciate you. I will talk briefly about my journey. I won't take so much of our time because we're starting so late, and
Yes.
we
Thank
don't
you.
want people sleeping and then go to sleep while they're still here. We're just seeing their picture, they're already sleeping. Okay, I started my career about 30 something years ago as a pharmacist. Um, Started with what we call hospital practice and community pharmacy in the evening. And there will be some points to know about my journey because I was discussing with Ms. Adeluba over the weekend. We were just talking generally. And there are some significant things that you see that hand of God, even hand of men. During my youth service, I have already told myself I won't go into what we call production pharmacy. And I've already got one of the multinationals that they said after NYC I should come. So I was bent on that. And I just felt it was the best thing that could happen to me. So we were discussing, and some of my colleagues, they were talking about applying here, applying there, applying here, applying there. And I just kept quiet. And one looked at me and said, why are you not applying to all the places they are applying to? He came from Russia and he planned to go back to Russia immediately after NYC. I said, well, all the places they're all applying to is not for me. He said, why? I said, me. I keep to myself. I mind my business. They're all applying to multinationals for sales role. During that time is a big deal. Being in sales, it comes with the car, and then the glamour and all that. And I just told myself that it's not for me, simply because I put a limitation on myself as a young girl. And he encouraged me. He said, no, when we're in the office and we're talking, there's a way you put your ideas across, and even the boss will listen. And I don't think you should just limit yourself and say, this is not for you. There's a way you convincingly convince even the boss. We're young, out of school, the brain is hot, and we want to correct everything that we think is wrong. And I don't even know that I really come up with so much force about that. So he said I should apply. Lo and behold, I applied. When I got to where the interview was, over maybe 150 people, I said, how many people do they need for this job? They said one person. I said, why did they invite so many people? I just told myself, how can it be me anyway? Me that I just jump on coming for the interview. And lo and behold, do you know that I was the only one taken? And I don't know anybody. It was an advert in the papers. And that's
Wow.
how I think I moved from being a med rep to a senior rep, an area manager, and a regional manager. Another thing that is worthy of note, when I went for training, finished the training, and my boss then was supposed to take me on field training, the man just looked at me. The first day to start the real work, he said, I can't see you succeeding so well on this job. I said, why? He said, look at you. You look so fragile. I was very slim and all that. This is a very serious job. It's not for people like you. But there was nothing I could do at the interview. Everybody on that panel felt you are the best thing that could happen to this organization. And so it was a lone voice. Everybody wanted you. I said, so you have to take. I was given Lagos Island. He said he's not going to take me out. He's not going to waste his time because he can't see me succeeding. Can you imagine that happening to you the first day you have to officially really take up a role? I look at him. I felt dejected. I grew up in Ife. I came to Lagos for internship and youth service, so I don't even know anywhere. But do you know what? I collected the map of Lagos State. The job came with a car, and I don't know how to drive. So I had to get a driver. I needed to know how to drive very fast, and I needed to know my way around Lagos. But I took it up. The field training that my boss did not take me for, my colleagues on the road were the one that trained me. Once I see them, because all our cars those days were labeled Baker, Glasgow. I'll ask them, please, cover this area. My name is so. I work for this organization. I handle pediatrics products and some ENT products. Where do you think I can push this product? They tell me, oh, this hospital has this pediatrician, hospital has this. They were the one that trained me on where to go and where not to go. And after 6 months, the figures came. I succeeded. And after some years, more training, I became a senior rep, an area manager, a regional manager. But later on in life, I got a boss who took interest in me. He used to call me number one. The fact that he calls me number one drives me crazy. I don't want to be less than that number one. I run and I just want to achieve. I don't want to let him down. And I did that from area manager, regional manager, product manager. After 10 years, a friend of mine will look at me and say, you love this organization you work for. My second name is loyalty. When I'm loyal, I'm loyal. I'm not looking at elsewhere. I'm committed to whatever my mind is committed to. And she said, Cadbury is looking for. I said, I don't want to. Guinness is looking for. She was just on my case. Then one day she said, Nike, a bank is looking for non-bankers to come and take some sales and marketing role. I said, me, I didn't even do social science. So how will I go and join the bank? I don't qualify. She said, apply now. Lo and behold, I applied. I wasn't so interested. Again, no, but the interview went through like 5 stages. And so I got curious that I want to see this to the end. Lo and behold, after about 5 stages of interview, I got the job. I don't know anybody who was adverse in guidance. But there's one woman who believes so much in me, Mrs. Funke Oshibo, my MD, who just took my case as a serious one that this girl, I mean, she's always encouraging me, my MD then. And that's how I started in the bank. And I spent 3 years in the bank, both in Nigeria, in Kenya, handling several roles. And was it easy? Never.
Thank you, ma.
In
Let me just say,
yeah,
I think we will get there.
Thank you. So that's a
Thank
short
you.
one on my journey.
Yes. Yes, some of those things we will get there so that we'll be able to get that clarity very well. You know, your career, from yours who has spoken now, I can see, I'm sure that we can see clearly. There is one issue of capacity. She has the capacity. She has determination. And to cap it all, he has the favor of God. And also, she's always loyal. Everywhere that she has mentioned, she's loyal. And I told you when we started that Boomhervoice Network is about the fact that we know that every woman has a story, that there is a conviction that drives every woman. So going on, I want us to, you have talked about banking, pharmaceutical, FMC. What shaped your adaptability across all this industry? What can you share with us how your journey across multi-industry has shaped your leadership perspective? How were you able to navigate from banking to pharmaceutical, just like that? Let us just make it brief so that.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
For me, it's about value. Wherever I am, even where I am right now, I always ask myself, what have I brought to the table here? So the value I bring to the table drives me. And then I'm a very passionate person. Whatever one of my friends will call me Onishan. I don't know how to translate that to English. Whatever I believe in, I do it with the whole of my heart and with the whole of my being. And because that passion and then creating value actually will drive me to quickly adapt to the new environment where I find myself. So I'm thinking, what do I bring to the table here? How can I quickly make impact? So I learned very fast. When I got into banking, nobody was giving me chance. but I learned, I read like no man's business. I was always asking questions. So I quickly adjust to the environment and I learned very fast. And then think of what skill would I bring here? What kind of skill to this new role? Because throughout my days in the bank, I don't think I've ever handled a job more than 2 years. My job was ever changing. And when they change the role, I'm thinking, okay, what do we need here? What skill does this entail? How do I adjust and move there? So
Thank
I think
you.
that's what drives me.
Thank you so much, ma. I can see that the value that you want to add at any point in time is always driving you. And the aspect of learning, learning is so important. Whatever role that you are given, you want to learn on that role. And that is very important. Everyone, I think, will learn from the fact that you need to equip yourself with the skill that is required. Thank you so much for that wonderful, point that you're giving to us. That at what point do you realize that your voice and leadership has influence beyond your role? At what point?
Okay. Basically, for me, I get to have what you can call your voice when what you do is bringing positive outcome. When people can see results of what you are building in people and in the system, when you can challenge the system, and at the end of the day, you are able to bring positive outcome based on execution. When sometimes what maybe a project that institution find very difficult to handle and you are given to do, and at the end of the day, you're able to figure it out. At the end of the day, people will listen to you. So it's the outcome of some of the things you do. So at the end of the day, you have a voice. People will listen to you and say, okay, let's ask her. One of my former boss in the first bank I used to work for used to call me Queen of Retail Banking. Another MD of mine had another name to give to me. It's based on the roles and the responsibility they've given to you and the outcome that comes out of it at the end of the day will give you voice.
Thank you so much. So at every point in time, we must be ability to have positive impacts, ability to have results. When your boss knows that you will always deliver results, you will get that leadership influence. Thank you so much. Um, Thinking of financial inclusion and impact, you've driven financial inclusion across Africa. What does true inclusion mean beyond access to banking? May you have played a major role in financial inclusion across Africa. What does true inclusion mean beyond just access to banking?
Inclusion goes beyond banking. Inclusion involves making financial services readily accessible to people. Access is key, and then affordable to the people, you know. So when financial services affordable, accessible, then we can talk about financial inclusion. And when we're talking about financial inclusion, it's not so much about opening bank accounting alone. We're talking about even basic insurance, access to loan, insurance, access to loan, investment. I mean, it encompasses all. At the end of the day, if people have access to financial services, they have access to loan, we empower the people, poverty is reduced. That is what we call real inclusion. So real inclusion involves savings, investment, insurance, and loan facility. But at the end of the day, whatever it is, when we put all this together, it must be very accessible and must be affordable by the people for it to really have impact when we talk about financial inclusion. And thank God Nigeria moved. We moved to about 64%, and we're really moving. And there was a turnaround in 2023. what we experienced in 2023, what we thought was an issue, was what actually leaped us off. But let's see how it goes. Let me not talk too much.
Thank you so much, ma. Thank you, ma. Okay.
The dog food.
Thank you, ma. What system barrier? What system barrier limits access to finance in Africa, especially for women?
Okay, for women, well, number one, the financial institution will ask for a arm and a leg, security, and all that, which women don't have. There's also some kind of gender bias. And for women, when it comes to loan too, when we talk about the informal market, a lot of women are involved. In fact, for the whole of Nigeria, what we call SME, MSME is highly informal. And when people do not embrace what we call banking services or digital inclusion, if you just have a bank account and you are carrying your cash around, you have not really benefited. The woman cannot benefit. Let me explain. When a financial institution wants to give loan now, most of the time, because their businesses are highly informal, there's nothing to actually show. People don't keep invoices, they don't keep anything. But if they look at your transaction details in your bank account, is enough to take decision on you, even if you don't have a credit history. So those who have credit history, is easier for them to have access to loan. But if you don't have credit history, if you run your business digitally, that means maybe you have a POS, you allow your customers to pay to you using mobile money or mobile banking. At the end of the day, not carrying cash around. So if they look, just looking at your financial statement alone, a decision can be taken on you. What we are moving to in the organization I work for now, see how people can only not even only your financial transaction history, but even non-financial, even your what you buy on internet and all will be put together. That is so easy for people to navigate, even if they are not that well educated. And even the stark illiterate, even if they have POS in their shop for people to buy with, and they are able to allow people to just transfer to their account and they can see they can see the balance in their account, is all very, very important. So digital inclusion will actually make it easier for women to have access. But we preach group lending and other areas that will make it easy for loan to be accessible, and women can be more included than what is happening right now. Thank you.
Thank you so much. We'll get there one day. Even all that you have said, I know that the rural women are still there. So I believe that maybe some people will be able to ask questions along that line. But before then, let us go into women leadership. What unique challenges have you faced as a woman rising to the executive leadership? What are the challenges? Or you don't just find everything very smooth, no challenge?
I think the challenges I would say I've faced most is that I was always given the difficult job. Like I said, my job changes every 2-3 years. I don't think I've ever done any job for 3 years throughout my 23 years in the banking industry. Even in the pharmaceuticals too, if you are given a territory, once you are doing very well in that territory, they change the territory for you. So at the end of the day, what I will call challenge, all I see is opportunity. This job has to be done. I didn't know it was that bad until one day somebody walked up to me. I think it was maybe 2019 or 2020. My job was changed again. I was sent to Kenya to solve a problem. And after about some years, the organization in Nigeria felt we've given 3 people this role and people they could not get it done. So let's bring Nike back to come and do it. And I looked at it, I said, wow. It's not only about sales, it involves what we call digital banking. So I'm an IT person. That means I have to learn. Somebody, when I came to resume on the show, somebody looked at me and said, why do they always give you difficult jobs to do? I said, I know, but it didn't hit me until somebody else said it. That, wow. So people are actually, they really know that this job they've given me is so difficult. But by the grace of God, I was able to succeed in a role that people who are actually with IT background normally will handle and could not do. I was able to. What did I do? Just go back to basic things that are needed in sales and all that. And I sat down, I look at Nigeria, I look at what was given to me, and I went back to my MD. I said, what we are pushing into this market will not sell in this market. So we have to change this product. 1, 2 is what I need. If I'm able to get this 1, 2, we will solicit. After about 3 months, I succeeded in getting one of them. The second one will require a lot of money being spent by the bank, but I pushed through, and they were able to. At the end of the day, my bank moved from the bottom to number 5, and I'm talking about agency banking. Agency banking drove what we call financial inclusion in Nigeria. And agency banking started about 2018, 2019, 2020. We were pushing it. But when we all came with crisis of no cash in 2023, everybody embraced it. And that's what has taken banking to the rural of Nigeria today. So there's no way you are in Nigeria today, you have a bank account, an agent around you, you can collect cash, you can do whatever you like. You don't need to see a banking hall. I don't know, even when I was in the bank, I never used to enter banking hall in 2-3 months of the head office where I was. I don't have any business going there. So what we call challenges, I turn to opportunities. So what I could say was major challenge is that sometimes I was always given the most difficult tasks to do. I'm sure those who gave me the job, they didn't want me to. Yeah, I don't think it was planned that I should fail. Maybe they just felt she would do it. And then with the grace of God and hard push, I used to get it sorted out. Thank you.
Thank you, Ma. We can see grace. That grace actually worked for you.
Yes.
And I can also see that hard work is also there. It's not issue about grace alone. And that you're always giving the challenging job to do. And because you see challenges as opportunity for, you see challenges as opportunity. And that is why you are able to grow that much, even in the institution. Thank you so much for that wonderful clarity that you have brought into that. How can women build authority and credibility in male-dominated sector? We have seen that you have answered some of this, but just narrow it down. Let us just have bullets of how, points on how women can build authority and credibility in male-dominated sector. One thing that I did not mention from what you said earlier is that voice, which Boomhervoice is actually trying to do, that every woman should have a voice. I can see clearly, even in the question that you answered last about the issue of challenges, you are able to voice out exactly what you need. More than that, can you just help us to, this is Nigeria, don't worry. How women can build authority and credibility in male-dominated, sectors? Thank you.
Okay, as far as I'm concerned, we talk about women must, have a percentage here and all that. When we were discussing over the weekend, Mrs. Adeluba, I told you that in private sector, nobody cares about that too. Maybe when it comes to the board, because CBN says you have to put a percentage of number of women. Apart from that, ESCO, roles, nobody cares. The women who get there will have to work for the job. So women will only get there if you prepare very well and you improve on yourself and you work on what we call execution. Because, I mean, whether private or public sector, sometimes to get the job done is always very difficult. People talk so much without doing. Do you understand? Execution is key. So if whether you're a man or a woman, if you bring value to the table, if you understand and you know your onions, if you are constantly improving on yourself and you focus on execution,
Thank you.
we don't, I mean, there's a term they use in the bank, we don't measure efforts, measure results. And the result shows. You can rub shoulders with the men. There's no financial, there's no women empowerment, women inclusion that gets to private sector. It is who brings the result. It's
So
all
the
about
women get what they put in.
It's all about results. It's about revenue, profit. I mean, the key indices. We get to meetings, Pam is on the board, and you speak to your figures. No story, no pros.
Thank you.
So
thank you so much. It's good to hear that.
Yeah.
Very good to hear that. And coming from that, so what do you want to tell us when we say you own your space? Especially concerning our young, because this platform is also to build young, upcoming young professionals, whether you want to be political or whatever. But what does own your space practically look like for a young professional woman?
Yeah. For the young professional woman, I think owning your space means, number one, you need to prepare very well. Prepare for any role you are given. I mean, you are given a role, it's difficult, or it's not your area of what you can say of core competence. Sometimes the boss will have looked at you and say, well, I think he or she can handle this. Sometimes it is not. It's just what is available right now, and they want somebody to get the job done. So at the end of the day, what you have to do is to prepare very well and master your game. Putting in the work and acquire relevant knowledge. What is needed for this role? What do I need to know? And then sit down and get the relevant knowledge. During my early days in the bank, I mean, I'm coming from purely science background, not even social science and all that. So I did a lot of reading, a lot of asking questions, move around department, ask the most stupid question. At the end of the day, some will answer me, some will ignore me. But do I care? Because my MD then told me, you're coming in on a supervisory role, and if you don't sit up, people will rubbish you. She used that word. And I'm like, oh, I don't think I want to be rubbish there. And so it's a lot of preparation for any role you are given, and mastering the game as much as possible. And you don't want to come to meetings and look stupid. Do you understand? I think some of the things that work for me too, which I didn't mention in the banking industry, not at a very junior role, but what we can call junior managerial role before you come to senior, I mean, management role and all that. I was exposed to the seniors early enough. I had the boss then who would take me for every Manco meeting every Monday, even though I had seniors ahead of me, but she chose me among everybody. to follow her. And so we get to that, when we're going for that meeting, we prepare like no man's business. Because when you get to such meetings, as you are talking, you are being appraised. Some people leave that meeting losing their job or their role change. So you are going to such meeting, you have to prepare very well, master your figure. Sometimes you are not even given the chance of opening your laptop before you read out figures. So it really exposed me. I didn't even know the impact of that until recently, when I was just thinking through my life during this last Women Day Give to Gain and all that. And I was thinking through all those who have mentored me. And I thought about her. She's based in America now. And I sent her a text. Do you know this that you did to me was what really helped me? She said she didn't even think about it then. She just felt Nika was the best person to join her in meetings. Meanwhile, I had 3 agents in my department and I was just a bloody manager. And so it exposed me so early to what it takes to sit with the elders. When we say elders, what are they looking for and all that? And so I brushed up myself so fast, and it really made so much difference in my life. So much difference. So you have to master the game.
Ma'am.
Just master the game.
Thank you so much. Yeah, mastering the game, taking responsibility, be clear and voice out. Where you are not clear, voice out, and taking responsibility. These are what our guest has told us tonight. So own your space. You don't just say, this is my space, I want to sit down. You need to work hard. You need to prepare. And one thing that I also heard very clear from what she has spoken is that mentorship is so important. To all our young ones that are on the platform tonight, let us seek mentors. Let us have mentors. You don't jump into things. You go, you learn by the rope. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. So growth, you are a strategist. No doubt about that. What are the key drivers of sustainable business success today? Business success. What are those things that sustainable business today? You can say that these are the key drivers.
Okay. For women entrepreneur and SME and co, one thing I know is that number one is important to have what we call customer sensitive. You have to determine the kind of customers for the business you are doing. What is your target market? What kind of customers are we talking about? And how can you be so sensitive to the need of the customer? I mean, I compared 2 hospitals I was attending recently, and I could see so much difference in managing just ordinary hospital. And people will just think, we just come in, we see doctor, you go out. Just being sensitive to the need of the customer. And then also, the world is changing so fast. So if this is the way you were running the business 5-10 years ago, things have changed. So for any business, there must be new innovation to doing things, and what we call agility. I mean, being agile and moving as everything is changing. You can comfortably run some businesses right now without even having a shop. And that's like reducing cost. I don't know the number of people I see on social media. Once you say no physical store, you just order there and they deliver to you and you are good to go. The world is changing. Also, some of the decisions you have to make has to be based on data. Data is like light now. If you're able to get some information or some data aggregation on some of the things you need to do, it's easier to make decisions using data. And then building system, procedure. We're talking about automation now. I mean, you cannot just have a business without what we call standard operating procedure. As your business is scaling, as it's getting bigger, it cannot be the way you were running 10 years ago. There are some processes and procedures that might need to be automated. And then attracting talents, and retaining talent too, very key. A friend of mine runs a bakery, and she did everything to make the bakery work. It wasn't really working. People were just stealing. She spent millions to get a software, and she thought, once I get that software, my problem is solved. No way. They did not let the software to work until she got one woman like this, the daughter of a professor in one university, who took over the whole place. And just getting the right talent, the business turnaround, they're into billions, and it's a bakery somewhere in Lagos. So when you get the right people, when you attract talent, you have to work towards retaining the talent. The lady is still with her. I said, this woman, you have to give this woman some shares of this business because of what she has done for you. Because then she was still working in the bank when she set up the bakery, and all the millions put there, people were ready to run the whole thing down. That old lady came, turned the whole place around. So when you get talent, retaining the talent is also very key. And you have to create your own, what we call, competitive advantage. What makes you special? What is different? For the hospital I was comparing today, I think service alone will make people to want to come back to this place, compare to, I can't be mentioning name because it's all right, but it is a hospital for a kind of treatment, and where you can say there's a niche. But I mean, somebody is still able to manage customer issue, service, make people feel good. I mean, when people are coming to the hospital, they are not happy people now. But somebody makes you to want to leave the place even feeling excited that I have friends coming around to this hospital for just 1 hour. So those are the basic things that people will need to put together in running a business. I mean, if you have been running it so well in the last 10 years, you'll be thinking about scaling. And when you are scaling, you will have to put some processes, procedure, automation, even marketing. Everything has gone now to digital, fully digitalized, kind of pushing the business. But I mean, this is not a business meeting per se where we can discuss such details. Let me
Yeah,
just
it's actually, yeah, it's a lot. I know it's a lot, but at least scratching the face will make some of us to go back and look at the depth. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. We can see that scaling, uh, the drivers of sustainable business today, you need a lot. The one that interests me so much is the fact that, talents, young ones among us know that when you have your talent, it's useful. And the old one, when you have somebody that has talent, make sure to do everything to retain them, and creating your own competition. Make sure you compete with yourself and taking advantage. Look at your environment. What is it that you know that you can use that can actually, make you to be different from others? Thank you so much. We appreciate. We are getting there. We are looking at the issue of growth. We are looking at the issue of growth. We have mentioned about so many things during the discussion, how, to distinguish our performing leaders from average ones in corporate environment. We'll just look at those ones and just take it, kind of. But how can young leaders position themselves in global competition opportunities? Maybe we should look at that, the two together.
Okay.
What distinguish our performance leader from the average one, and how can leaders really position themselves for global, opportunity in the global world?
Okay, so for position, I think is a lot of resilience, hard work, in opportunities instead of always complaining and seeing obstacles. Because I mean, people complain too much. I mean, we complain too much in Nigeria generally. I mean, where we're supposed to see opportunities, all we see are just obstacles, instead of how can we convert even these so-called challenges, because it's the person that is able to solve problem that has the edge in life. Do you understand? So seeing opportunities instead of only seeing obstacles, very, very key. And being resilient, and what I will call also about being result oriented. Do you understand? Execution is key. We do a lot of talking without the real action. I mean, I think those are the things that the bank industry has changed some of us for. All we talk about is what have we achieved? Not all these stories of I went there, I came there, and all that. And for the young ones because I tell the young ones now that they are global citizens. Nobody needs to be restricted to Nigeria. People are sitting down here and making calls. I mean, they work for organization abroad. What is required is for them to gain what we call the relevant skills. What is important? Sit down and learn the skill that's important for you to get this job. Jobs are available everywhere now. So, I mean, what's more important? What could be more rewarding for a young person sitting down in Nigeria and getting a job, having a job in developed countries and earning in dollars sitting down in Nigeria? I'm having some problem with my system, but everything will be okay. So it's important for them to develop the skills that is important for global relevance. Building network too, very important. And for them to step out of their comfort zone. It is always easier for everybody to stay in their comfort zone. So to be globally relevant, you have to get out of your comfort zone. You have to learn the relevant skills and be informed, and then get the network too. I mean, the network is key. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I think our young ones, there are a lot of them on the platform I've just checked. We need a lot of, wisdom in passing things to them, because a lot of our young ones these days, the only thing that is of interest is the quick way to make money. Our guest has been able to tell us now that you need to leave your comfort zone. People don't want to work. You need to learn skill. The fact that you have not even gone to school, a lot of people have gone to school. When I interview people in my office for a job or something, and they've been they are out of school for like 6 years, and you ask them, what are you doing for 6 years? And you say you are not doing anything, I won't employ you. That's the truth. There must be something that you should be doing for 6 years. After school is just for you to be able to, think. Yes, education, so that you'll be able to do something. So getting relevant skill is very important. Like you said, all that you have packed for us tonight is enough for seminar for 2 days, but we are just collapsing it for less than two hours. Thank you so much. I have not seen any question on the chat box. The discussion tonight is so packed that I believe that by now we should have some questions. If you want to just signify by raising up your hands that you have questions, you have the floor. Okay, I can see a hand up. Yes, Mrs. Ekanoba, you have the floor. Unmute yourself and speak.
Thank you so very much, my dear Honorable Bumi Adelugba, and our guest speaker that have spoken extensively. I want to thank you for the great insight you have shared. But one thing that I want to ask you, I know when you were talking and you were talking about owning your own space, you talked about the need for us to prepare, make adequate preparations, master our game, and ensuring that we take charge, and your voice must be heard. And some other examples that you share, you were talking about some of the men, your bosses, giving you responsibility, and because some of them believed in you, they helped you. But the question I want to ask now is that because you are a woman, I am a woman, and oftentimes people always believe that women don't support women, and I'm sure that in those organizations where you worked or you find yourself, you must have encountered some opposition, particularly from the women. Okay? So I want to ask, how were you able to navigate and weather all the storm, and you were able to still find your feet? Because where I worked, that was one of the greatest opposition I had. I didn't have opposition from men, we're like a paddy and we worked very well. But the women, some of them will stand up to you and confront you. I had an experience, maybe I should throw it as a question. This lady just walked into my office and she was a director, I was a director. She just asked me, bosse, why is it that it's only you that they will keep on giving some jobs to and all of that, and you never say no to any? That was a direct confrontation. But of course, what I did to her, she will never, never forget in her life. But I just want you to throw more light and share some of your experiences if you had any
Okay.
opposition to the women.
Okay.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Women really helped me, and women also dealt with me. The women who helped me,
Jesus.
the women who helped me were mostly my seniors, who didn't see me as a kind of threat to them, who see me as somebody. For me in life, any boss I have, I work for my boss to succeed. I just believe in that principle. This is the person I'm working with. We have to succeed together. So I think make it easier for my bosses to actually trust me, because you could think maybe when we start working together, you might think I'm fake, but after a period of time, if you're a smart person, you will know that that's just me. I'm just sincere. But it gave me problem too with my contemporaries, because it's like, what is it about you? Why do you always like to do I too know? Meanwhile, God sees my heart. I wasn't doing I too know. I just felt this job needs to be done. Let's get it done. Some will tell me, is your father a shareholder here? Kilode, Iwo Nikoni. And I'll tell them, I came all the way from Ile-Ife to Lagos to work. I don't have a rich father. Neither do I have a rich husband that will take care of my needs. And I'll tell them this job pays my bill. It will work. Some of them will laugh, some will. And when we have things to do, when there are problems to be solved, instead of us to sit down to work on solving the problem, people will give reasons why it cannot be done. And if I raise my hand in a meeting and I say, let's put a committee together to work on this, and then we come back next week, or we come back in about a month's time on solution, people will say, she has started again. What's your problem? Do you understand? But at the end of the day, it is what is giving me, that was giving me edge apart from the grace of God. I kept saying, where everybody is seeing obstacle, I'm seeing opportunities. And then one thing about me, I'm an incurable optimist. Incurable optimist. Until I hit my head on the wall, I don't believe this thing is not possible. So even things that people think is so difficult, by the time we break it down, do this, look at it this way, look at it that way, sometimes you just see a road at the end of the day. And what is important is result. So what I would say is I was able to manage it. I never really used to fight with people. Some people will talk about me behind me. They won't say it to my face. And I keep doing the job. At the end of the day, some of them we became friends. Some, they went with their whatever wrong notion they have. But some will even call me back and say, one told me and said, you, even when people were your enemies, you don't see them as enemies. Why are you like that? And I said, well, The Bible says we should be at peace with all men as much as within your power. Be at peace with all men. I just have to be at peace with you because we've come here to work and we just have to do the work. And I always believe we'll meet somewhere else again apart from this work. You never can tell. My son, my daughter might end up marrying your son. So it's just good to be good. So I will say he used to hurt me, but being a woman of faith, I take things by faith, and we've come here to work. Let's just do the job, and that's it. Thank you. I don't know whether I'm able
Thank
to
you
answer.
so much. Thank you. Thank you so much, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you so much, ma'am. I appreciate you. I think I saw Madam Kemi's hand up. You can unmute yourself.
Okay, thank you very much, Ma. This is overly insightful and encouraging. Thank you so, so much, ma'am. We really appreciate. My question, digital banking, fintech, that's the in thing now.
Yes.
In fact, some of them, it looks as if they are chasing away traditional banking.
Yes.
As if they are chasing away traditional banking because they don't need to see.
Is the truth? You are saying the truth, man. I'll give you figures now. The network. Is it our own? Is it on Okay. Okay. I don't know whether it's your network, man. We're not hearing you, but you're saying the truth. The fintechs have taken over what the normal bank would do.
Not trained at all. I mean, so about this, especially talking about financial inclusion. Yes, it's good that people do not have to bring a big collateral, but the interest is killing. And a lot of these people, if they are not financially, if they are not very economically inclined, they might keep taking the loans.
Yeah. Okay, so when we're talking about fintechs, they are taking over what the regular banks will do because they are more agile and they're able to resolve issues faster. It's easier to open an account. It's easier for them to manage, for customers to have things done with the fintechs. So the big fintechs, the OPay, the Money Point, the PalmPay and all that, each of them have about 30 million customer base as we speak. You can sit down in the comfort of your home, open an account, and get even your card delivered to you. You don't see there are branches all over the place. And when we're talking about retail banking, we're talking about making banking accessible and easy. Ease. Do you understand? There must be access, it must be easy, it must be affordable. Do you understand? Those are the things they've done. So you see, an average, if you are paying your bricklayer, your taxi driver, everybody has OPay, Money Point account. So they made life easier. So the regular banks will have to wake up because they've already almost taken the whole of the business as it is. But in the area of loan, the reason why the loans are so expensive is because an average financial institution will calculate how much is likely to lose. Why? Because when Nigerians take loan, they don't pay. And so they have to calculate that loss norm into what they will calculate before they will decide on their interest rate. I mean, there are lots of parameters that are put into. And that's what the organization I work for right now, Nigerian Consumer Credit Corp, is one of the key pillars we are brought to address. At the end of the day, what we're saying is that every Nigerian will have what we call a credit score. It has passed second reading in the House. We use both
in the name of
regular scoring and what we call alternative scoring to score everyone. So there's a basic score for which financial institutions will use in actually determining whether it's 100,000 you qualify for or 200,000. And with that, if the scoring is so good, the possibility that you pay is there. Do you understand? Because you are giving more like what you would need, not less than what you need and not more than what you would need. That's what scoring is all about. So there will be a central credit registry for the whole country where every information from both all the financial institutions, the switching companies, the telcos, and I mean, even the ordinary money lender that we have in the States, every information will be there based on your past history. So those who are taking money right now from all those fintechs and are not paying, they don't know that they are doing themselves the service by the time we put all this together. And at the end of the day, they won't be able to take any loan anywhere. So it is a culture of not paying down on loan that made the price so expensive because they have to run a sustainable business. So if they are giving out 100 million, they've assumed that 30 million will be lost. So the cost of that 30 million will have to be put on those who are going to pay back. But we'll soon get to the promised land by God's grace, based on what the Nigerian Consumer Credit Corp was established to do and we will achieve by the grace of Almighty God. Thank you. I don't know if I'm able to answer your question, ma.
Thank you very much, Ma. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ma. I'm not seeing any hand up again. It's so serious that I have to log in with another device, but it's okay. We thank God. That we are getting closer to, I want to just ask some personal questions now. You have from your profile, we speak to leaving a lasting impact. What does legacy mean to you? And what habits are sustain you for excellence over these 30 years?
Okay. Legacy to me means I'm able to replicate myself in people and I'm able to leave them being better than me. Do you understand? The people I work with, the people I've interacted with, I'm able to make an impact and I'm able to produce in the younger ones better version of themselves, even far, far better than me. That's what legacy means for me. And what has helped me, I would say commitment, discipline, passion. Passion in my second. And I maybe as I'm getting older, maybe it will be reducing. That's just me. Those are the things that have actually really, really, really shaped my career path.
Thank you so much. And I believe that we are all listening, especially the young one. And for the old one, leaving a lasting impact is being able to replicate yourself, and that is legacy. So that in another many years, when Stanike will have retired, there will be another Nike that will do a lot of things that even men cannot do. And discipline is very important in this game, and also passion. Passion is very important and commitment. Quick one now. In one word, define leadership. What one word will you use to define leadership?
For me, leadership is about influence. Because it is
great.
what when you are able to influence somebody is when you can call yourself their leader. And you are able to people when you're able to build relationship with them to the extent that you are able to influence them, then you can call yourself their leader.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. That's leadership is influence.
Yes.
Yeah, leadership is actually influence. Thank you so much, ma'am. We appreciate. In all this, what was there any time that you took a risk? What biggest risk have you ever taken that you remember?
I think the biggest risk is leaving pharmaceutical industry and join banking, not knowing what I will meet there. Some of my friends told me recently that, I mean, we never thought you could survive that place. I mean, people didn't give me the chance, but I survived. So walking into a terrain that everybody consider very tough, I think is the greatest risk I've
And you
taken.
still dive into it.
Mm.
And you still dive into it. That's wonderful. Thank you so much. So what daily habits you cannot compromise on? Something that you cannot tolerate.
I think the most important daily habit for me is prayer. I mean, committing the day into the hands of God. I mean, life is not all about physical. Life is very spiritual.
Yeah.
As we get old, we get to understand more that life is spiritual. So being able to spend some minutes of a day to actually talk to God before rushing out is one basic habit.
Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you so much. Mentor or influence.
There's a question
Okay,
in the
you have
chat room.
mentioned some people, yeah, even though you did not mention their names, there are
There's a
sorry.
question in the chat room.
Okay. Madam Janet, please can you help me deal with that questions or Polarish himself herself? Because my device now has limited me.
Okay.
A question was asked about how our guest has been able to manage marriage with work, success, and movements. Pharmacies, banker, etc.
Okay. I would say I'm not married, and I have a daughter. She's about 21 years old right now. I would say it was tough initially, especially living in Lagos, living on mainland and working on the island. Really tough sometimes when she was very young. She will wake up in the morning, I've gone. Before before I come back, she's already asleep. I hated myself for it, but God was so good to me. I have what we can call a good support system of my sisters, apart from myself, who really helped. One of my sisters was with me. My daughter actually see her as her second mom up to today. So I would say a good support system of family and all the other things. And when I come back to when she was getting to higher primary school, secondary school, even without removing my jacket, I sit down. Have you done your own work? What are the challenges? I'm teaching her and all that because I mean, I cannot say because of work at the end of the day, somebody that God has just trusted in my care to be messed up. So I was still a present mom. I mean, sit down, go through homework over the weekend, whatever we can do together. And then she was always with me. At the time, the bank moved me from the island to mainland. Sometimes when she's coming back from school, will come to my office, see me before going home and all that. And we're able to manage that. And when I was taken out of Nigeria to Kenya, initially I left her. After a while, I moved her to join me. So we're both in Kenya together and we came back to Nigeria together. So good support system, I would say.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much, so much, so much. We really appreciate you for your time tonight. And everyone that is able to connect tonight, I appreciate everyone. This is Boomhervoice Network, like we said, amplifying women voices, empowering young leaders to lead with intention, with conviction, and transforming nation. It will be a very wonderful night, evening, or afternoon. It's been together listening to my sister, Mrs. Olanike Kolawole. It's been a very, very busy night, and it's been a very impactful and influential night. Thank you so much for coming. The closing one question that I would like to pose to you, Ma, this evening is, what is your charge to every woman, especially the young leaders listening today who decide to rise, lead, and make impact?
I would say it's good to be intentional because, I mean, in life, you have to tell yourself this is what you want out of life and be very
Sorry to
ambitious.
interrupt you, Ma. Maybe you
Intentional.
could add, somebody just added something on the chat room that was attitude mentioned. See, she joined late. That was attitude mentioned as part of the things that help you in your career success.
Yes.
Your attitude either to work or to people. Yeah.
Yeah. Attitude
Yeah.
is everything. It is the attitude that will drive you to want to even learn. Do you understand? It is the right attitude to succeed that will drive you to want to learn. I don't know this, let me go and learn this. I mean, attitude is fundamental. Attitude is everything, I would say. I will pick attitude even before the skill because somebody who has a good attitude will learn the skill. Meanwhile, people who have very good skill but with very wrong attitude, at the end of the day, you cannot succeed. Attitude is everything for me. So the lasting words is be very intentional, be ambitious, be confident in yourself, keep learning. Keep learning. Even at this age, keep learning. The world is changing so fast. If you don't learn, you'll be far behind. Thank you.
Thank you, thank you, thank you so much. It's quite a very, visiting, and we have learned a lot from you. It's been very good seeing you among us tonight. It's as if we should not even close, but people have been here for a long time, and I believe every one of us have listening to you tonight. We have really, gained something that's what we take home. Thank you so much for this
Thank you.
impactful section. And
Thank
colleagues
you.
and friends, thank you for this emoji. Thank you for your comments. Please send comments to our speaker of tonight. I'm sure we have really learned from her. Thank you so much for coming. Thank you for your time. I believe the next time Boomhervoice Network comes to you, that we need to come, and because there are so many things that we have put on the parking lot that we may have to call you to come and shed more light. But for tonight,
Thank
we want to appreciate. We don't have anything that we can do than to just pray that God will continue to lead you. God continue to make you to rise, sir. And those things that you
you.
like in your life, the Lord will keep them. And whatever you don't like, God will take them away from you. So everyone that
Amen.
have come tonight, even the time spent, pray that God will recoup the time for you. Even the
Amen.
sleep that you sleep tonight will be very, very revelational. That you will not even miss. You will not know that you have, invested this time. Thank you so much for coming, and
Thank
God
you.
bless everyone. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Ms. Adeluba.
Please,
Thank you,
please
everyone.
visit our YouTube and all our channels to review and like us. It's good to have you on board. Thank you.
Thank you. I really
You want to say
appreciate it.
something now? Yes,
I can
ma'am.
see some of my friends too are here. They also came. Thank you,
Okay.
everyone. Thank you. And I will continue to
Yes,
join this channel every month. A
thank
lot to
you.
learn. Thank you.
All right, ma'am. Thank you so much. Thank you, everyone. God bless you. Thank you. A lot of people use this device. They didn't change their name. But I can see a lot of my friends here too. I can see Ambassador Enola Ajayi. Thank you for coming. Your Excellency, I appreciate you. Thank you, my sister Laide. Thank you, Madam Janet Adebo, Kemi Akimushiri, and everyone that have cannot, you know, Sister Bimbola Oni, thank you so much, everyone. Thank you, people that joined from Port Harcourt. Thank you, Chairman Branch. Thank you, my colleagues from the prayer platform. Thank you so much, my professional colleagues. Sitting on the platform tonight. I appreciate every one of you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. And good night. Good night, my Eshegun. I appreciate you.
Good night.
Eshema.
Ẹ pẹ̀lẹ́, kú